So I read online a lot of different things about removing broken bolts and taps. So I don't know if you remember, I might have said something on film, but I have a cylinder head where I snapped a bolt off. I went and bought a screw extractor, broke that off, and I said, well, I'll leave it. I don't think I need it. I'm not gonna have to use it. Went to go put the throttle linkage on. Of course, it's mounted to the bottom of the cylinder head, so I had to pick up the whole engine, put it back up here. Long story short, you need the bolt. So I was gonna forget it because it's hard. Something that's really hard. So kind of a life lesson here is something that's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. I was hoping to leave it and not need it. But I'll see if you can kind of see this. It's right there. I mean, it's in there good. I've taken, what I'm gonna do is I've researched online and I found out using a Dremel with a grinder bit, it's, the extractor is actually harder metal, but it's brittle metal. And I got this from talking to my dad, so Terry, thanks. But I found that you can use a diamond tip and grind away at it. You can use a Dremel tool and grind away at it. What you have to be careful of in the Dremel, of course, and the grinder is messing up. I'm already here all in, so I'm thinking I don't want to mess up the threads. I mean, I don't care if I mess up the threads. I just want to stay as center as possible and get through the extractor. If I can get through the extractor and get all that crap out, then what I could do is take a drill bit just smaller than the M6 bolt that goes in here, drill that out. Worst case, everything fails. I drill it out, have a solid hole, and I go ahead and helicoil it because I got a kit for that. So not impossible. So that hole is supposed to look like this hole. And it looks like this hole. And you can see there in the center of that shiny piece, that's the extractor. There's not enough to grab with a pair of pliers or nothing. So what I'm gonna do is try to hold this cone head file or grinder stone centered to where it grinds, it starts working on that, extractor. I hate this stuff, but this is the worst part of doing this mechanic and stuff. But I think there's a lesson learned here. I mean, sometimes you think things are impossible, so you want to quit. Sometimes they just take a little bit of elbow grease and a lot longer than what you wanted to do, because something worth doing doesn't always happen quick. So step one, we're going to work to get that out. It's going to take a while. All right, bye. can't tell you joyous feeling I have. So day number 2, working on the broken extractor. I finally broke through. I mean, every drill bit I got, it feels like it was just not strong enough. So what I did was I went to Harbor Freight. Well, first I went to Ace Hardware last night, and I got some chainsaw blade sharpener tips. So these are used on your Dremel to sharpen your chainsaw blade. I had at it, and what that did is it finally allowed me to grind away the piece of broke off easy out. So then I started grinding down on that. I was like, all right, it's not working. I saw a guy on YouTube over in England. He was discussing it, and he was using these. These are diamond plate hole saws, or diamond coated hole saws. Now, I mean, the good ones are probably this right here would be $20. So I went to Harbor Freight and I found a pack of 4 for $5. I said, yeah, you can't, for $5. Let's try it out, right? So I was jobbing on it, and I finally noticed that the piece of the broken easy out came out, and I had flat metal. The problem was I couldn't get any bit to bite on it. So I kept getting down. I was like, man, I know I got to feed the end of this bolt. This bolt's not that long. So I then said, well, I found some of my drill bits, and I found the smallest one. I didn't have it with me, but I found a really small one that had a good tip on it. And I said, you know what? Just let me try it. Just let me try this bit. So I put a little bit of WD on there, and I just put it in there, and I just started wiggling it back and forth, kind of up and down. And I saw it biting metal, bringing some shavings out. I'm like, but then all of a sudden it hung up and I was like, ooh, that means I probably broke through. So I pulled it out, and I didn't see it broke through, but I saw a cool hole. I'm like, all right, this is cool. So I tried it again, stuck again. I was like, all right. So, but it's a little bitty, one of those where you move just right and it breaks. So I took it off and said, all right, let me go get a different bit. And I had one of my arsenals sitting here. And same thing, I put it in there, I just wiggled up and down. I saw I was biting some meat of the bolt coming out. I was like, all right, this is cool. WD'd it. So this is the end result. You can see a hole in there now. So now I've got to clean that out. And depending, I mean, those threads are probably shot. So what I'm going to try to do is helicoil that. Because I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that's probably helicoil right there as well. So and all that requires you to drill a certain size hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that bit, ream it out. And what I'll do is then thread it with the kit that I have. And we'll try to helicoil it. 2 days. But like I said, this is actually a vital piece of, it's a vital piece of a bolt there, because the bracket for the throttle linkage and all that hooks to here, plus a heat shield, plus 2 heat shields, one for the exhaust, one for the cylinder head. So there's no if you got to do this, it's when you're gonna do it. So thank God, man, what a pain in the butt this was. So anyway, more to follow. So what I'll start working on now, like I said, I'll ream this out, and we'll get it going. All right, thanks. All right, so I reamed it out. I used a quarter inch drill bit. I bought a kit before for an M6 helicoil, because I actually had to replace one inside. For the rocker, one of the rocker bolts was stripped. So I pulled it out and again reamed it out, helicoiled it. So what you do is you ream it out 1/4, then you use this to rethread, and you'll rethread it for the outside diameter of the M6, which will make the M6, which if you look at 1/4 inch and M6 are pretty close. So then you use this to go inside. So this is the next step. So I'm going to put a little WD here on this. And what we're going to do is we're going to carefully take it here. Just carefully take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Make sure it's straight. I'll be honest, I have a feeling this was helicoil there, which is really weird on here. I don't know if that's a standard Kohler stuff, but I noticed the other bolts that I was working on, they all seem to be helicoil. I'm gonna take that all the way home to the end, which is too much, but that's fine. Now, when you take it out, you're gonna get a lot of debris. I'll make sure that comes out. It does catch it in these little veins, which I'll show you. Doesn't hurt to clean it out though. I'm gonna do like this. Okay. You see the debris that's on there. So another thing I like to do, turn my vacuum on. Get all that debris out. Now I'm going to show you another trick. Hold on. There's a lot of videos I saw online. They use red Loctite, which is I think permanent, and blue, which I got confused. I bought this thinking, oh, it's red, but if you read it, it actually says blue 242, so I screwed up. But I would say having any kind of Loctite is better than not having any Loctite. What you're gonna do is you take one of these helicoils, you take the little kit. One way you know that you have the right one is you take your M6 bolt or your bolt that you're gonna use, and you'll see one side has a little piece of metal on it. So take this and screw it on your threads. Just check it out. Because that's the end result, that's what's gonna happen, right? It does only go so far. So like for me, on this, I really don't need a long bolt. So like that one, I'm gonna use a short bolt on this. I've got a lot of doodads and knickknacks that are gonna go in here. And actually, you only install this, I'm only gonna install this to here. What'll happen is these threads will stick, that will break, and what you're screwing into is this right here. It won't break, it'll probably bend past, and we'll give it some tension. So how this works, this has a little slot on it. You see right there? So you take the little piece to the outside, like that. And then what you do is get a little Loctite. Okay, put it on the outside threads of the helicoil. Again, blue, you're supposed to be able to take it out with some, but I don't have the red. I wish I did. So I'm gonna take this, screw it on until it's flush. So that's flush right there. Okay, snaps off. Always wipe off your excess off this so you don't have goop on here. I'm gonna let this Loctite sit for a little bit. So at the end result, after 2 days of freaking work, she now looks like that. I got threads, people.